Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out IU's By Summer, and this is a song that I'm pretty sure she did as an encore for her concerts that she was doing, and there's been a live video version of this out for a little bit, but now we have a actual lyric video for it, so I guess I'm going to use that as my excuse that I should have waited, because now I get to have a lyric video, even though I'm a little bit late on the summer thing. But in my defense, I do start putting my decorations up September 1st. I'm one of those people. I'm a little bit early with autumn. I'm a little bit late with this song, but I'm excited to hear it because I'm pretty sure I haven't heard any of it, so I don't really know what to expect, but I'm sure it's gonna be great. Also, really loving this trend of companies putting out lyric videos for stuff. I think it's a good call. Maybe I'm biased because I like a good lyric video. Also love that we're getting some animation just in K-pop in general. Yes, please. This is beautiful. Anyway, let's see what By Summer has for us. Whoa. Okay, are we going rock ballad? I like it. There's some nice sentimentality to it. Ooh, I love that lightening up the sound. I love how everything pulled back, this huge sound, right at the gate at the beginning of this. I love that we have a lot of instrumentation at the beginning, setting some of the vibe of the song, some sentimentality, but it's also, like I was saying, a bit of a rock ballad, so it's not super sad or leading into some of that kind of bittersweet sentimentality, right? IU can definitely do a sad ballad, right? A really slow, sad ballad. So I love that we're getting some of that vibe of almost a celebratory sentimentality to the overall sound, and then having everything pull back a lot. Really light sound from her, and I love that she had a really lightening up of her sound, lots of air coming through at the end of that one phrase. I think she was talking about wind blowing, so I like having a lot more air for that to link up those two. I also love just the parallel here, the dark light, and then we have a person made of light, which definitely makes me think of the A Beautiful Person music video. So I think that's a fun little, I don't know, Easter egg maybe reference. I love the orange to the blue contrast. Ooh, beautiful way of building up on that and having her push a little bit more with her voice, and then the vibrato at the end, soften at the end of that before we go into the chorus. Beautifully done. Ooh, beautiful lower part of her range. Oh, beautiful. I expected that anyway, but I love the way that we're getting some of that higher part of her range, and also rich tones at the lower part of her range, but also I think that it fits so well with the light and dark that's happening. This little bit of, again, sentimental, it is a goodbye, but it's through this kind of celebratory, being thankful for the things that we had, right? Saying goodbye to summer, and there is this sadness to that. There's sadness to saying goodbye, but it's through this lens of, but look at all the wonderful things that we did, right? Look at all the things that we were able to accomplish. And even the one lyric talking about, I think it's after this, yeah, without any complicated words, let's say our goodbyes and not try to complicate it. And think of something like summer, right? The seasons, they continue to cycle through. So it's not goodbye forever when it comes to something like summer, right? You're going to come back around and get to say hello again. So I think symbolism goes really well with the vibe of the song of let's say goodbye for now, but not for always. So I think it's a beautiful like sentiment, right? To be like, we have to say goodbye for now, but with this like optimism that there's going to be a later in which we see each other again. And let's not complicate things with all of the kind of sadness or regrets or whatever. Let's just focus on the things that we got to share together and go live our lives separately for a little while. And then we come back, we'll have a bunch of new stories, right? I love that she digs to her lower range there. I love all the space for the instrumentation to be there too. Ooh, that's beautiful. Ooh, okay. I love that we got the interesting cadence there and all the other voices coming and layering up the different vocal layers. But I also love that we have the charm bracelet, the shells and everything, the flowers, like tokens that seem to be pulling from like the previous kind of imagery that we've gotten in the video. And also I was thinking like we have this box. I was like, oh, it reminds me of that memory box, right? Like where you put in like little like knickknacks and things that you've collected throughout the different places that you've been, different things that you've done, right? It's where you put like photos and little like trinkets that you've bought and like ticket stubs to things. And maybe I'm just dating myself because I'm like, do people do that anymore? I have like concert tickets from like years ago and I have shells from when I went to this like ocean and all of that. So I think that's fun to have this memory box while we're talking about this concept of remembering all of the wonderful things and talking about I'll miss you and I start crying without even really like knowing, but it's through this like sorrow that you have for understanding that you've had to say goodbye to something, but also taking those memories forward because you want to remember. And there's going to be a point where you can look through them and remind yourself of all the wonderful things that you did, all the adventures that you went on. And I think it's really interesting, again, not to get too caught up in like the video, but I think it's intentionally adding different layers to what the song is talking about, is that in this archery before we had like a person who was in the graphics for some of the storytelling is now empty. So it's like talking about, I have all the memories of kind of this personification of this person and, or like this season or this, whatever it is that you want to put in here for like summer symbolizing. But like the person isn't there anymore, but I have still like the memories to pull on. Even like Sweet Sorrow is an interesting comparison. Oh, I love the strings. Beautiful vocal cadences. I know I am interrupting, but I love that like swell with her voice, like putting more power behind it. And then that contrast immediately with having that lighter sound, right? All of that buildup of remembering all of these things, all of these moments of joy. And then there's the sorrow underneath of that too, right? See? Wow. Oh my God, her voice. Ooh, so many thoughts. One, I love that we have the pullback of the vocals, like everything softening out, right? And then swelling again, all the other like layers coming in. It's almost like memories overlapping with each other. We even had like in the visuals, there's like the tan line of like where the charm bracelet used to be. So it's, even though you don't have the physical representation of those memories anymore, it's marked in your skin, right? They're talking about tanned, like suntanned in the lyrics. So I think that it works really well with that. The tan lines and like what happens when you get to the end of a season, right? Yeah, suntan faced, right? So it's like after you've gone through the whole summer and you have these remnants of what summer was like how much time you'd spent outside, and if you'd wore that bracelet the whole time, you're gonna have tan lines for it and all of that. I think that's a really good image within the like video for it. And I also love that we got the like cool breeze at the end. It's an unended phrase, right? But we don't get the rest of that sentence, so it's left open for the like season to come. In contrast, we had the heat talked about earlier in the lyrics. It was around here. Yeah, even the heat close behind, right? So we have here, we're talking about summer, we're talking about like the heat associated with it, strong rays, the tan lines and all of that. And then in contrast to like the cool breeze at the end of transitioning into the next season. And even here where we have these points of light that are these stars and all of that, I think it's also interesting that it could be, it's almost like snow or like frost in some ways too, to have the blues and everything, right? So it's like transitioning from like warm tones to cooler tones. Beautifully done. I loved the, like, instead of a final goodbye, right? Like I was saying, of you can't have the same summer back. Like you can't experience the exact same summer again, but there's always going to be like another summer. And I think that even if we're talking about the season has ended, like our season together has ended, it's not that there isn't going to be any other season again, right? There's going to be other seasons. There's going to be other people who come in and out of your life. There's going to be other experiences that you have. There's going to be other phases of your life, right? It's not going to be the exact same, but there's going to be more, right? There's going to be other adventures that you have later on. So I really like the symbolism of that as well. And we're talking about, yeah, on a night where the stars run across the sky is still sky. Like the still sky versus the motion of the stars, right? I think is really interesting. All these running and rushing and all this kind of energy that we have to the memory of summer, I think is really interesting compared to the kind of like sorrow and tears and loss and memory in contrast, right? The different images there. Gorgeous song, to be expected from IU, but beautiful. Loved that she put this out at the end of summer. I think that fits so well in terms of her like deciding when this should come out. And if it was a encore song, which I'm pretty sure it is, I think I remember people talking about it being an encore song, then it's a great way of getting to the end of a concert or a tour or whatever, right? Because it's saying this time that we've had has ended, right? This season, this like era has ended, but there's going to be more things. There's going to be other things that are going on. There's going to be other concerts that you go to. There's going to be other concerts that IU does, or like other shows or like other music, right? Other things are going to happen. It's just that this specific concert has come to an end. And I think that fits so well with, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be upset with the fact that this thing has come to an end, right? The season has come to an end, but also have the optimism of there's going to be more things, there's going to be other things, and you'll always have the memories of the season, right? Like you'll always have the fond memories that happen, right? Like the good things that happened are always going to be something that you get to carry with you going forward. So I think it's just a beautiful like sentiment. It's such a gorgeous like metaphor for what it feels like to have to give up something, right? When something just comes to an end, an inevitable end, and even though you want to like linger in it, you can't, right? Like you can't control when the seasons change. All you can do is be prepared for it and do your best to adjust. So I think that it's a great kind of metaphor for those different things, times that can happen in our lives, right? But I hope you enjoyed listening to that along with me. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post an IU reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.